bitchy. So it's difficult to be serious when I'm not given anything serious to work with. And then, because apparently he really wanted to prove my point about male feminists, he said this.
She's a pick-me. No wonder she's dressed like this. She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings. She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by, like, the fucking... the office boys.
I'm sorry?
Are you sorry? In April, Hassan liked a tweet calling a gay man running for Congress in Colorado against Lauren Boebert a smarmy, annoying cigarette, shorthand for fag. Multiple progressive figures tripped over themselves to defend why it was actually okay to be homophobic by applying our understanding of intersectional bullying to the situation. This was the tweet. No one canceled you. Everyone just called you a smarmy, annoying cigarette. Vosh came out justifying homophobic attacks on gay men as long as they're white and wealthy due to their misogyny and co-opting of AAVE. In this case, gay is less oppressed than black or black gay.
That's what they're saying. Now,
we're not going to watch this whole thing, but
I have two things to say on this. First of all, being fully serious, you actually cannot be bigoted against a person because you don't like their political positions. It actually doesn't work that way. You can't do it. I can do it because I'm a member of that group. And in my head, this guy is like flagging every single stereotype for somebody in my head. And I'm thinking just like, if you think like I've got like a, funny misogyny up here, white gay men, holy shit, it's to the racetracks. It's, oh God, so much energy up here. So much of my neural activity dedicated to homophobia exclusively against white gay men. What about black gay men? Not a problem.
Because remember, black gay men are a little lower on the hierarchy than white gay men.
Not a problem. I grew up near West Hollywood. This is a very specific thing. And by the way, if you actually want a sociological explanation, my best guess for it is that white gay men have a particularly callous and ignorant approach towards appropriating AAVE and like black queer culture in general.
Popular progressive Twitter account @VanillaOpinions came out defending Hassan's tweet as a rare win, claiming that the tweet was funny. They went on to condemn me in the same Twitter thread where I was accused of calling trans people trannies. This has never, ever happened. And claiming I'd repeatedly engaged in transphobia. Rare Hassan W. Wait, hello? How? It's a funny tweet. Wasn't Destiny calling people trannies like a month ago? People dislike Destiny because he's repeatedly engaged in transphobia. After being called out for the blatant hypocrisy, they became triggered, told all mutual fans to stop following, and claimed my fan base was one of the worst on Twitter. All because they received some mild pushback on defending homophobia. Forgot that I have followers who like Destiny and his content. If that is you, please unfollow me now. Had to block a bunch of his stands earlier to get them to stop following me. Real sickos. One of the worst groups in this corner of the internet. Keep in mind, I know a lot of you might see some of these and think that like, oh my God, this is like a small tweet. Nobody cares about this. All of these are more popular at the time, but if I have to internet archive it, usually it's archived very early, so I don't have like a record or a screenshot of how many likes I had at the time. Most of the tweets I've tried to source on this were like getting reasonable engagement, like at least like 10, 20, 30 likes, depending on the interaction, or for like big points, like 10,000, 20,000, 80,000. But sometimes on the internet archive, it won't show the likes that they got at the time, but Pete Buttigieg was subjected to multiple homophobic attacks from progressives as well, including Virgil from Chapo Trap House and Mike from PA, Central_Committee on Twitch, questioning Pete's gayness because he took too long to come out of the closet while in the military and living in Indiana. So this was one of the tweets that Virgil made at the Buttigieg staff party in Concord. The mood is not happy. This was a video from
keep banding up in the box somehow.
Mike from PA is live and said this about your messages. Oh boy. Hold on.
Destiny sent me two things that he wanted to talk about. The first is like conspiracies, which I'm not really sure what he's talking about as far as this channel. I do believe, I mean, I can easily defend the position that the DNC is implacably opposed to Bernie, and the timing of things has been at least interesting enough to comment on. And the other thing is, like, about Pete being ashamed that he's gay, is something I said last night, which is obviously true because he remained in the closet until 2015, which is an unbelievable thing for a political figure to remain in the closet.
A military guy from... No one cares, Destiny. He was supported by internet communist Kira Chats, who rebranded from Bad Bunny to escape the deluge of homophobic, transphobic, ableist, and racist comments she'd made on her Discord server, as well as racist and homophobic comments made on stream and to a moderator. I think this is another clip of that.
He's a conservative. He's a conservative ashamed of being gay, who won't stick his neck out for his own fucking identity. He's an opportunist. He's a scumbag. Yeah. And anybody who with any sense of smell can smell a rat.
Yeah, so that's a stupid argument, but of course not. I love everyone. So wait, then why don't you if you love everyone, then why don't you love the Jews the same as you love the gays? Do you
Why would
love
Bernie
the
drop
gays
out?
more than...
Remember, the issue here isn't that they're attacking Pete and that he is gay. The issue is that they've actually found a way to attack his gayness. And then when people question, why are you being homophobic? The response is, well, I can't attack somebody just because they're gay, which is extra ironic given that I attack trans people all the time, but never because they're trans. Yet people accuse me of attacking trans people because they're trans, when that hasn't happened.
Explain. Okay, I want to understand this person's
let's
electoral...
just go along with this identity politics garbage. You love the gays more than you love the Jews. Let's just ask you that question. Obvious trolls, obvious.
We don't have to go through all the Bad Bunny stuff. I just don't ever want people to forget this. Kira Chats had, it was used to be Bad Bunny. The reason why she rebranded, I think, was to get away from a lot of this. This is 14 pages of using the term faggot. 14 pages down here. Now, it was a long time ago, the end of 2019. We've got tranny being used only until 2019. We've got autistic being used, if you care about that. 149 results. We've got some good but yeah. She's also made strange.
I, for one, would never be involved with a guy who's bisexual. I couldn't do it. There might be exceptions, obviously. When I say I wouldn't be attracted or I'm not attracted, obviously, if it's like, obviously there could be exceptions, all you super little nerds out there, but like, I don't like, if a guy's like having sex with other guys, and then he's like, oh, maybe I'll try having sex with you. I'm like, racist and sexist? Please don't say that. Even black people, if you found me a black bisexual man, I might throw up in my mouth.
Then there are other Mike also defended other homophobic attacks
Watch your step.
including a comment about the natural
Watch your step.
disposition inherent.
Watch your step.
Psychotic for deploying in Afghanistan in 2009.
Watch your step.
Adding another that he could never trust Buttigieg because he combined the natural devious disposition inherent in gay men
Watch
with
your
a
step.
bloodthirsty career's drive.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Okay, this one's a little bit funny. This one's funny. This one's actually really funny. There's nothing wrong with this one. A gay man can say a joke like this. Give me a fucking break.
Here's Hassan defending the same tweet.
Could never trust Buttigieg because he combines the natural devious disposition inherent in gay men with a bloodthirsty careerist drive. Oh, Jesus Christ.
questioned, along with another progressive streamer, Lucid Fox, why any gay man in Indiana would struggle with being gay.
If you could, if there was a pill, if there was a pill that
Events like this make me extra upset because not only does it demonstrate what I've come to expect of people, that you're a piece of shit because you're popular, but it actually shows huge disconnect
Watch your feet.
with the people that you claim to speak for, that you claim I hate. This is probably one of the dumbest comments I've ever heard in my entire life about somebody's sexuality. Now I'm going to do repression. I have never heard a more cis, straight, privileged comment in my life than what Mike commented on this week. Or not Mike, I'm sorry, Central Committee. Mike
if there was a pill, if there was a pill that I could take and not be gay anymore, I would have jumped on it.
This is.
Of course you would!
Yeah. And the thing is, there are people in his mentions that have said that they're like, well, this is about him struggling with sexuality.
They got it. I would not have the amazing marriage that I have now to chastity.
The context is that this is when he was struggling as a child, but he didn't come out until his 30s.
Spread.
He didn't struggle, like, he wasn't struggling with, being oppressed as a child or in college. You know?
You'd think between a chat room full of like progressives, two supposedly progressive guys, like one person here could prove that hey bro.
I gotta tell you straight up, I find this disgusting.
I guess maybe because I have conservative other people that don't understand. Maybe if you don't understand, right? Even if you're not being open, it doesn't necessarily make it easier to have that whole experience, right? Like being gay for a variety of reasons, sexuality is introduces confusion into your life. Why do you have feelings for people that you shouldn't have? Are you wrong or broken or damaged or disgusting? Are you ever going to be able to have a happy, healthy relationship? Are you forcing yourself into relationships you're not very happy about? Are you worried that somebody's going to find out you are gay? All of these are issues that you brought up without ever having to come out. Of course, there's going to be a ton of internal diversity in your life before ever coming out of the world. You don't need to come out of the world. Call you that like what Mike said. And that statement that the statement that he made is a really common statement by non-cis and non-sexual, non-cis and non-hetero people as well. If I could take a pill and not be trans, if I could take a pill and not be gay or lesbian, I would, because it would have made my life so much easier. That's an incredibly common statement. I cannot believe you could have any engagement with gay or LGBT, any person at all. I've never heard that in your entire life. It's unbelievable.
I'll tell you why. This is for straight people. This is for bigots. That's what he's talking to. This is this is a description of sexuality that goes back 15 years. Like, almost nobody thinks that it's a choice anymore. And he's actually adopting kind of this
Shockwave.
homophobic trope where being gay is in any sense shameful. If there was a pill right now that I could take to be gay, I don't care. That's the response. There's no difference to me and or anyone who's got a reasonable, up-to-date view of human sexuality about being empowered, gay or queer or asexual or demi or pan or
Watch your
fuck.
step.
It is
Shockwave.
unbelievable.
My makes a
Shockwave.
questionable comparison irrelevant to Steve Northwood after multiple conflicts.
Watch your step.
In this case, blackness could be attacked as Mike receives an aggressive
Shockwave.
Oh my god, I didn't realize All Relevant was at the DNC. I didn't realize All Relevant was at the DNC in 96. Oh, there he is. I found him.
Shockwave.
Didn't expect you to make racist jokes. What? I was calling him a nerd. What the fuck? Get out of here. Dude.
Watch your feet.
Calling him a fucking nerd. I was calling him an Urkel. What's you saying that if you could call me an Urkel if you want? Jesus Christ.
AOE incoming.
Since I've been identified as being an ontologically evil adversary, here are attacks that I need. Hyena, community member and ex-door after denying all me abuse, shows up a demon wellness chat.
Watch your feet.
Real quick. We have just done a stock on our own site. The only time that Vermin has ever used the word rape at all was talking about a story that happened to them. So, once again, motherfucking liar, literally making up nonsense. Just making it up. He just made it up. Once again, as always, caught in 4 fucking K. Oh, you checked further. They called Destiny, Rapestiny 3 days ago. I don't fucking care. That is not an accusation of rape.
Demon Mama originally called me a liar, then immediately walked it back and she didn't care. Hyena's made multiple rape comments, got me in Vosh's as well. This is your brain on Rapestiny content. Rapestiny, not Vosh. Canvassing hardly does shit, LeMayo. Set up mutual aid. Stop seeing like Daddy's Lap because there's the online IRL organizing Rapestiny did once. Rapestiny strikes again. The only bad guy here is Rapestiny. Rapestiny, Keck V, Rapestiny. Maddie Cakes, an online progressive streamer, made weird rape claims about me on a panel, receiving pushback from almost everyone else there besides Josie.
Find shelter.
After I pushed back against the fake rape claims Maddie made against me, she would go on to fabricate DMs against me, claiming they were coming from me. In percentages of misogyny, she was writing the fake against herself. From Talk Talks. This was the first that I was. It was pretty far down in the inbox. It was flooded with DMs that she had mostly positive notes about me. For all I know, it could be the same deranged person, and once again asking for DGG to leave me alone. Watch your back, ugly Juno's bitch. You think shit's bad now, you have no idea the pain we will cause. We're just getting started. Unfortunately, she did a Photoshop edit of this tweet, but she left in this dot here, which shows that there was a back and forth communication, even though she tried to make it look like she hadn't accepted the DM or talked with them at all. After being called out on it, she just implored me to leave her the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. You're basing the entire accusation on a fucking mark made when I accidentally hit markup while cropping the screenshot. Leave me the fuck alone. That accidental mark that she would have had to have made would have been a pixel perfect mark across several marks that she would have had to make to do it. Saying that the proof of Photoshop was just an accidental markup she hit on a tablet in a pixel perfect position. Further analysis, further proof that she'd fabricated those messages. People were able to create the accounts that she had made, or that she'd claimed she'd gotten DMs from, showing that she edited the names of the accounts, and that the account was never real. People also went and they checked the timestamps that she'd made. And based on her time zone and when she posted the tweet, the times didn't line up either. Those DMs were 100% fake. Josie would go on to defend Maddie in a later stream after her false claims about me, claiming that people were only having fun on the platform, and then saying that those who support me are no better than those who supported Donald Trump after he started the insurrectionist riots.
And if anybody has a problem with Maddie, you have a problem with me too. And I am willing to talk to those giant platforms about this shit because they're afraid to challenge it. I'm not gonna stand for this shit. I'm not.
Can you come over here?
This is one of those things that we have to be able to stand up against as a community. Because there is too much pain that is being dealt to people who are doing nothing more than having fun on a platform. Like, what is our only crime?
He fucking
Trying to
reacts.
have fun, trying to entertain, trying to, you know, maybe make a new way in their lives. But the fragility of these people's egos. Of like, oh man, I gotta protect myself against the things that the woman said. So I'm gonna entirely denigrate them and make them the bad guy, and then everybody's gonna stop looking at me and all the terrible things that I said and just focus on how terrible the life is for the woman that I stirred up.
Jesus, bro.
Instead of focusing on the real issues. And I'll say right now, anybody
I'm actually just,
that
that's
is
so
defending
fucking AIDS. Holy shit.
the actions, and I will say it because you know what? I don't care. Anybody who's defending the actions of Destiny and what he said, and then having the fallout after this with what he did to Maddie.
Find shelter.
You're no better than me for don't
Another 3 months. Demon Mama defends him, calling me a rapist with no evidence, falsely claims that her fake DM accusations are fake. And when those harassments
Holy
when
shit,
those
these
harassment
guys are like
proven
3K
100%
alts
to be
and they're so
fabricated.
fucking annoying. I hate it, bro.
Find shelter.
This is supposed to be an easy fucking game, not dumb fuckery.
Slightly irresponsible or
Jesus,
slightly
fuck.
irresponsible, like saying literally that somebody was a groomer.
Like, we were in combat. They died. There's obviously something's fucking glitching, bro.
Like the amount of harassment I've seen thrown at Maddie, and the fact that like the predominant narrative is that Maddie is made up. That's fucking stupid.
Watch your feet.
Okay, it doesn't matter if she's saying this or not. She's supporting it in her rhetoric. She's saying that there is some truth to the narrative, and that she didn't completely make up this idea that Destiny's a groomer. That's crazy.
Casey Trot fabricated a story about me ignoring a safe word and implied I raped Kira Chat / Bad Bunny.
Watch your feet.
I think it's fair to say that Bob sexually harassed someone because of his jokes towards Ophelia, but I'm sorry, Steven is way more a predator. I mean, there were the Bad Bunny rape allegations when he didn't respect her safe word and his community just completely obliterated it. So for them to act like they care is a joke. Not to mention how they won't even listen to how the victims that they keep waving around feel. This mischaracterization is actually, it's not even 180. I would have to go to 3, 4, or 5 dimensions of like reversal to show you how unbelievably wrong she's mischaracterizing that situation. We'll get it.
So fucking.
Apples claimed that I stealthed her.
Oh yeah, meanwhile he stealths people who is legitimately a form of rape. Insane. Insane shit.
This clip, I wish I had a slightly longer one. She walks this back in about 5 or 10 more seconds. People are making a clip jumping there. She does walk it back like 5 or 10 seconds later, softly. Keffels claimed I stealthed people, then softly walked it back later. She would go on to say that she would never apologize for it after horrendously misquoting and butchering positions I have relating to informing your potential sexual partner about your genitals.
I love that several months ago, he said that if a trans woman does not disclose she's trans before having sex with someone, they are a rapist. I have done this. According to him, I'm a rapist. But he'll never take that back, nor will his like weird fans expect him to take that back. So, why am I expected to apologize?
Keppel's comments are ironically transphobic, however, as she is essentializing a trans person as having the genitals of their assigned sex at birth, which is not always the case, and I specify in my tweets and on stream that I am talking about genitals, not someone simply being trans. If you mislead someone relating to sexual organs and they discover it as you're engaging in sexual activities, that's not to rape. I think you have a right to know the genitals of the person you're sleeping with.
AOE incoming.
Sexual contact with them. If you are presenting as female and you have a penis presented as a male and have a vagina, you should absolutely disclose this before these sexual activities begin. This wasn't about being trans. It was about having a different set of genitals. Some sort of all parts, right? These things they have something. Typically we associate like a gender expression with a genital. Like 99% of the time, most people do this. Okay. But for them to have a totally different sexual expression, most people right now don't know. Like they wouldn't say. If you go to a fucking girl, really good clip have in here is I think somebody actually specifically asked me, what if they had bottom surgery? I said, oh yeah, I guess a lot of shade at that point. You probably don't have an obligation to say that.
Defensive. Behind
Despite Keppel's lack of sympathy for me and her willingness to make fake rape claims about me without even caring to apologize, she is bothered when I'm not sympathetic towards her getting doxxed.
Empower.
This is a quote from me. I absolutely do not give a single fuck if Keppels gets doxxed or harassed. I have no care for you as a human being. She gets upset when I use a similar evil argument back and forth. The difference is, I'm not calling her evil because of her beliefs. I lack regard for her because of her aggressive and hateful demeanor towards me, including taking credit for getting me to Twitch. This is a back and forth thing. Why not actually clip the entire thing? Why take just 13 seconds? Do you honestly think anything you say here is that ridiculous? I'm curious how dishonest you types are. You said you don't care that Keppels got doxxed right after she just said her family got doxxed. Because the person was literally trying to get me banned from every platform I'm on to remove all of my income and bragged about it later on. You realize this is way worse than getting doxxed, right? Why the fuck would I care about this person? Are you insane? And then these are all of her tweets celebrating my ban from Twitch. Your star will fall. Hey Steven, I just took away your primary source of income. Please leave me alone. How did I predict this? Destiny getting banned. Destiny got banned. I won. Congratulations, you fought for the person who carved out the left-wing politics space you now inhabit. Just so. Ninetales, another progressive trans streamer that runs in the same echo similar with no evidence on it. Can you post where you called up Keppels for saying Destiny's a rapist and doubling down on the stream? Emo Mama signaled Lucy why Destiny called for a hate raid law on the stream. It's not my opinion that those are lies. Sorry. Do you think those are true? I think over the past few decades, we have seen many people call up men who abuse the power. Those men try to slander the accusers by default. This is no different. On top of this, I have known many people who echo those claims, both publicly and privately, if the shoe fits. Remember the hierarchies. Because I am a white man, you can infinitely attack, make up, do whatever you want to me. But if I do any type of claim back, it's just considered slander and horrible because of the hierarchies that we exist on, incapable of defending myself. Chloe, at Bob Posting, a large trans Twitter user, falsely accused me of raping women on stream in response to this video. Hey, at the Omni Liberal, please tell your friend Steven to stop sodomizing women on stream. Thanks.
We have sex?
Wait, stop!
Shockwave. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Lena and I both tickled brought each other pretty quickly. Chloe decided in this instance I was raping her. Decided to take this one.
Shockwave.
I didn't use the safe word though. My no was part of the play. Get the fuck out of our relationship.
Watch your feet.
She would later claim this tweet was just a joke, but people in other communities, such as Vosh's subreddit or people on Twitter, echo it uncritically. Man, the way he calls HRT sex drugs, blah, blah, blah. It's because I made a rather distasteful joke about him and his girlfriend, now wife, way back LeMayo. He's disliked me ever since then. This is this gayest fresh guy on Twitter. How about the more recent one where he raped Melina on her own stream? This is from Bosch's subject. He fingered, I did not finger, his girlfriend poking her back or something. He fingered his girlfriend on stream while they were on a hot tub. She was clearly uncomfortable and asking him to stop. Apparently, it's something Destiny and his girlfriend do somewhat regularly, some form of consent, non-consent. The on-stream stuff was just being pretty irresponsible to your audience while drunk. And why do I know this? Because the man himself literally replied to my comment about the indecent, or incident, being kind of sus, saying that it was actually completely fine. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Like, I get that sometimes there's more caveats when it comes to consent and a lot of it. This does not excuse him and his partner from non-consensual chat witnesses. I'm really sorry. I'm trying not to be condescending. I don't think you can finger a girl.
Watch your feet.
I don't think you can finger a girl. Okay. Very hard to have sexy concepts. Or maybe he thought I was just trying to rape her.
Watch your
Maybe
feet.
that's what he said. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? But other active members of these communities continue to echo this. Xander Hall even does this while reacting to a 10-year-old conversation. Adam Park here might echo it out though. At that point, at the point that he's reacting to this video, I think I had sex with 2 women. Yeah, already.
And once SOS goes to the world, everything that anyone does, obviously that's hyperbole, but people seem to actually operate under the fear that, well, if feminists start changing the rape because then I've raped people.
No, a lot of it is just personally uncomfortable too. Like I've raped and I've raped a lot. Like going under the definitions that you guys said, but like everybody that's
Keep in mind that the context of this conversation was somebody, like, if you have sex with your partner when they're tired, it was one of those ridiculous that kind of stuff. Okay, well, in that case, we've all done hardcore rapists, that's what I'm going to say. That was the context of this conversation.
Okay. Alright. Looking at this here and seeing how defensive he is of people being falsely accused of rape because of how insanely broad the definition is according to these crazy fucking lefties. So he is clearly saying here that part of his concern is that apparently he's raped plenty of times, quote unquote, by that crazy broad lefty definition. And then there's the stealthing drama, where his rhetoric and his defensiveness and whatnot are basically identical to what he's saying here. I mean, the parallels are blaring. And I feel, I know I'm going to get shit for even, like, hinting at this, but maybe he's just getting ultra defensive about the stealthing stuff because he's done it before and doesn't want to own up to the fact that that's shitty to do. Judging off of what he said there, it seems that way.
Watch your feet.
Rape and slur comments are fairly common here as well. Pathetic, greasy, Gusano, transphobe, Keffels was right, you're a rapist, and probably a pedophile. We'll follow you everywhere online, letting everyone you work with know, or you can get on your knees and apologize for something. This guy's
Watch your feet.
death threats. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of death threats. The way people are acting, you think Kevils killed Destiny, and I'd support Kevils if that did happen. He still draws breath, unfortunately. I wish someone killed Destiny. If only. If she were too, she'd have my blessing. Wish she did. Maybe next time. If only, I wish. A girl can dream. That would be a marvelous day in Roblox. She did know, come on, the night is young. If only, she should have. BAM! Better for all of us if they did. It'd be like, etc., etc. Again, imagine me ever tweeting out. BAM! It's like I couldn't capture the whole
Watch your feet.
How insane it is. Remember earlier that Doe was willing to masturbate the report from Gammy for making the joke, it's deer hunting season. The Has anyone seen Destiny? It feels like he vanished after the
Watch your feet.
He slipped and fell on the knife 666 times, very tragic. The good news, his wife is in oh. Shit. Random people that will show up. Oh, this is a person in the chat. My Destiny will be down. Just random. I stand firmly on this. Destiny needs to be killed. Gun him down as he leaves his home. Must resist urge to break TOS. Must resist urge to break TOS. That was probably better off than he did. Killing myself. This had 26 likes and then some quote tweets. Probably my audience blowing this person up. Oh, Dreamleaf is a pretty big Twitter account. Twitter.com. I think they have like... It's like 10,000, 8,000, 7,000. This is somebody that was watching. Now I know I'm not supposed to send death threats and all, but just please, the government isn't telling us they are going to I hope someone shoots me in the mouth incredibly large children.
Find shelter.
You're a legitimately deranged guy. Put it this way, I will donate 500 pounds to a charity of Destiny's choosing if you get swatted and killed at any point within the next 5 years. I'm my absolute best to lie here, but I just can't stop myself getting swatted on a routine basis. Many show up in my DMs as well. People unfortunately delete their accounts or can afterwards. So don't screenshot them immediately. These are just like random tweets like that. Mayonnaise, monkey, pussy ass bitch, honky, you're a racist, fucking Klansman. Kill yourself, jump off the white bridge cracker, everything inside the wall, stop reading, fucking black cracker, kill yourself.
Find shelter.
I know you think you're on a big hit, but I'm gonna just let you know that Huntington Beach is a big city, and if I ever see you making women uncomfortable with your hilarious jokes and hilarious things, not as person you live. You deserve to live. You deserve to fear life. Whenever you step outside, you're thinking it's so fucking disgusting towards women on this app when they're telling you your words and how you I tried to go back and fix myself, and I noticed that you can leave your account or you get banned after sending your death.
Find shelter.
At suspiciously the same time Wash's community was excited by the Reddit admins for brigading, we'd received notice that our subreddit was called brigading. So Wash's subreddit made a big posting rule update where they were saying that they could no longer post about other subreddits. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. The main reason why the no subreddit posting rule exists is because we were reached out to by Reddit's admins about harassment. We'd like to keep our subreddit, so no talking about other subreddits. At the same time, my subreddit received a message from the admins. Hey, our Destiny mods. I'm an admin bot whose job it is to detect subreddits and might need some assistance. You're receiving this message because it looks like you've received more traffic than normal. If your team is feeling overwhelmed, we have some resources that might help. Because ever since Vosh started his Fortress arc, every cross-poster of the Destiny subreddit is banned, and Vosh posters will come to my subreddit to attack me. Many like to attack my relationship with my son. His wife, you mean the one liking a Nazi's banger tweets that are calling trans women a man? Nobody's insulting Nathan, they're insulting Destiny for being a deadbeat dad. Dreamleaf again. You should spend more time with his son Nathan instead of furiously quote tweeting random follower trans people. No Nathans. Nathan is his son. He pulls out script moved halfway across the country from to pursue better streaming opportunities. This is Nathanless behavior. Finally, you have time to take care of your retarded son. Don't you have a son to not take care of? I think, 37 points. Nice. In Vosh's subreddit. I think Destiny should take his $1 million to retire from his father. He's already fathered
Run out.
For the sake of his career.
Shockwave.
So many tweets attacked Melina after she quote tweeted Lauren defending her. Almost every quote tweet to this is some kind of attack. Girl, bye, fuck you, and your husband, both of you all deserve each other, fucking white supremacist, transphobic, racist cunts. Didn't you like the tweet about Lauren Southern calling a trans woman a man? She did. Bitch was siding with a neo-Nazi that inspired a mass shooting just to get Penny Owen over a trans person. Her husband was harassing these people in the United States.
Run out. Shockwave.
Lauren Southern sycophant. Fuck that child up with food. I wish Destiny was from Body's banned. Say that again without crying. There's like a whole, all the quote, I can't give all of these quote tweets, a lot of them insane.
Find shelter.
Many have attacked me in the past for identifying as a non-binary. I no longer identify this way, even though I've considered different sexual or gender identities and discussed them at length at various points in the stream. So Destiny admits being a fake non-binary to ethically troll the leftists. Is a Destiny non-binary? Why would they make this argument? No, he isn't. He always claimed he was technically and used this identity only as a shield for gotchas. Non-binary streamer admits to not really being non-binary. A quote tweet of me saying, "Wait, so you're admitting that some people adopt labels to use as a shield against people?" I've talked about like my. We're not gonna listen to all these. I'm not gonna. But I've talked to this. This is like 4 years ago relating to sexuality. It especially feels like I've had like several conversations on my stream related to stuff. The idea that I just made it up. You can go and watch. You can go and watch this video.
Run out.
Many large communities have defended using racial slurs against people, including Hassan multiple times, as well as smaller streamers such as Kira Chats, and larger accounts on Twitter, including the Squirrel. Moderators and members of said communities freely use and defend racial slurs against me as well. I won't dig up every time someone says it, but if you search Twitter, there are countless examples.
Can you make Gusano a banned word, please? Oh my god.
Run out.
I know exactly where this take is coming from. It generated from a specific community where people are like, people want to make it out to be a fucking like, slur or something. It just means worm, okay? It's a term that leftist South Americans use against other South Americans and Latinos that side with American imperialism.
I like how he says it means worm, and now he's talking about what it really means, like right after.
It's a
Run out.
like saying you're
Find shelter.
lighter version and not as popular a version as Uncle Tom. Okay. Anyway, not surprising. Like for a guy who constantly fucking shits on like trans people and says like, oh, you're just like adopting aesthetic exclusively to fucking create an oppression. Really weird that he's all of a sudden like super fucking Cuban, super in touch with his Cuban background all of a sudden, and very
never said I'm super in touch with my Cuban background.
Very Cuban and very offended.
I just don't really like it that large streamers justify using racial slurs against me. For these people that pearl clutch over everything else.
Where community is very offended at the usage of the term that like most white people have never even fucking heard of, dude.
Bad Bunny has made multiple references to the slur. Gusano Simulator 2021, which was playing the Far Cry game. Thinking about that streamer that came to visit me in Seattle, and when we met, he was really troubled by the fact that I lied about my height. I didn't, so he made me stand back to back with him in front of a full-length mirror to verify that I was, in fact, still shorter than him. More like short Gusano behavior. This probably, if it happened as a joke. Thinking about the streamer that came... Oh, by the way, that streamer is Destiny. You know he's talking about me. Liked by Kira Chats. Destiny is such a dumb shit sissy Gusano, harassing trans people, people of color, and overall just being a giant shitbag. I hope he gets deplatformed.
Okay, just totally
The Squirrel. These always get thousands of replies. I don't have the engagement. 14-year-old suburbanite white dude bros who have a Twitch streamer for a surrogate daddy. Oh my god, that's a slur. You can't keep saying that. Oh my god, it's worse than the N-word. Nobody has ever said it's worse than the N-word. I don't know why that's strong. Well, I know why it's strong was brought up. Will you stop saying it? Gusano. Motherfucker in the world. Alright? Of course, this fucking Gusano cracker worm bitch is trying to involve. God, what a loser. What is it? Is this on a Hassan server? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? I think that was one of Hassan's Discord mods. I think. You guys should report that to server ban. Get a server ban. Fuck it. Jesus.
Guy like grew up in America or something?
This is a thread that was on the Hassan Piker subreddit. Thank you, Hassan, for having the correct opinion on the Gusano word. I don't even know what these examples are. Don't expect a Gusano to tell the truth, Ambi. Destiny would rather waste his time tweeting racial slurs, bashing neopronouns, and being the ultimate debate, bro. Gusano is not a racial slur because anti-Castro Cuban is not a race. Just like a bunch of random shit. You guys can all go through there. People have attacked. I think this is like searching for like Gusano to the omniliberal. You can just see like all the people that tweet like Gusano. Always be looking for posting Gusano. Tanky grind set. Oh, this is Gappy. I think that's a meme though. Who's on my side? Maybe. Oh! I need the streamable real quick of the guy calling me blue-eyed Gusano. That was a really good one. I can't believe I didn't put it here. I just remembered it because somebody in chat said it. Does anybody have a link? If you can give me that link in like 20 seconds. That's a really good one. Let's go.
Fingers in chat.
Okay. Sorry if you're getting banned for the linking. You guys are martyrs. Inshallah. One more. This person, by the way, never banned, never punished for any of this.
Up arms because I call Destiny a fucking Gusano. Because he is. Oh, but he's Cuban. This motherfucker has blue eyes. Not that it necessarily matters, but I can definitely tell you that because I can definitely tell you that his family owned fucking a plantation. His family definitely owned fucking slaves. There's a big tell.
People have attacked me over my canvassing efforts, with Josie claiming I made a progressive candidate lose.
Assistant Secretary of Health. I mean, it's not like he's solely responsible. He got a lot of these young kids out there for the first time to knock on doors. I met a lot of these guys. They would have never come out, ever come out.
Yeah, I do door knocking. I used to do door knocking for a living, IRI. Like the idea that you...
She's never done door knocking for a living.
Like, Destiny got some people to go knock on Georgia. That's great. That's great. But he also made a candidate lose. He also made a Democratic candidate lose as well. He also made a Democratic candidate lose as well.
And fans of Hassan sexually harassing and attacking me for canvassing in Omaha over Discord. Wow, another typo, guys.
Pull your dick out. Pull your dick out and say you're Hassan's baby boy.
So Riot is...
There's a whole talk on that, but... These canvassing efforts culminated in a hit piece being published on me by Hannah Michelle Bussa, the UNO Gateway, spurred on by a short clip created in and propagated by Vosh's community, to which I responded with a detailed write-up on my subreddit. This was the big hit piece that got Gudgel basically out of the race. A lot of this ties back to a clip that we'll go over later that Vosh's community propagated about me. This was my write-up to respond to that whole incident. She had sent me an email asking for clarification on statements that I made. Do you have anything to say about the comments you made about protesters last summer? The article is due tomorrow at 3 if you have time to respond before then. This was my response to her, where I included things about defending BLM, things about defending protesters. I sourced and linked every single thing that I mentioned in my email, policy positions that I had relating to progressive issues, like everything I could do. And the only thing that she included of my email... Why would Hannah's takeaway from my response to her, where I include numerous times where I've defended BLM and protests and even riots in some instances, be, and what she wrote in her article relating to an email I sent her was, he only added that he thought the rioting would give former President Trump a path to victory in the November election. His message about protesters did not change. There's a whole other thing in here about this whole ordeal. I'm not going to rerun all of that right now. But basically, this was one of those cringe white liberal women that's obsessed with black people. The UNO Gateway ran 2 articles about 2 of the candidates running for mayor. Both of them were black women. And she, on her personal Facebook, was posting about how she supported... Oh, no, wait, this is a different one. But she on her personal Facebook was posting her support for one of the other black candidates. Oh, Hannah personally supports Jasmine Harris, an opponent in the primary. Fuck, I don't know how this got removed from Imager. She follows Morgan Freeman, the campaign manager for Jasmine Harris. Jasmine Harris and Kimera Snipes were the 2 black people running. But regardless, that's a whole other thing. I don't really want to get into that.
Hey, baby.
Oh, yeah, and people in that instance were doxing my canvassers as well, but she didn't find it necessary to write about that either. Fuck, hold on, I just want to look at those messages real quick. Why did Hannah neglect that Amelia was giving away the addresses where volunteers were staying when I notified her as such? Yikes, there are far more affordable options unless they're in a $20 a night studio. Are there even any like that in Omaha? They're not in $20 a night places. I know that. PM me if you want to know the locations. I can imagine it's probably an area much nicer than my regular home. No need. Very close to Sheelytown. This woman, I don't know if she followed where my canvassers were staying when they were in Omaha, but she was giving out the address of where any of my canvassers were staying to other people. These two women, you can go through their Facebook because all of it was public, are also big supporters of the other two black candidates running for the mayoral race in Omaha. Regardless of that, Casey, Tron, and Anna falsely claimed Melina and I spread STDs. Melina is nasty, to be honest. Didn't her and Destiny spread STDs? I think Anna is in chat here echoing the same claim. Just don't give them STDs like Destiny does, Jackson. Me and Melina have never done this. Multiple people have made fun of me for someone misrepresenting a drug and selling an unknown amphetamine to me instead of MDMA. I could find a ton of examples of this, but remember when Destiny accidentally did crystal meth? 529 likes, LOL. Looks like Destiny had to drop a scheduled debate because he accidentally took meth. Lots of like meme response to this. Not gonna lie, that's hilarious. Imagine being such a snowflake over the fact that you accidentally did meth. Oh, this is the funniest tweet on this website, making fun of me that I thought it was strange that people are like laughing at like at like being drugged basically. But I guess it's all good and fun when it's me. There are many other random attacks, such as people calling me fascist, claims that I've never been raped or violently assaulted by an intimate partner, people saying I'm a griper, claims that women only fuck me because of my money, telling people to give me no charity, etc., etc. It's honestly not worth listing all the attacks. There are hundreds more across thousands more accounts. Hopefully I've gotten the point across. Not all of these claims come from large accounts, and these claims run the gamut from not so serious to extremely dire. I hope I've been able to accurately convey the diverse amounts of harassment I receive across a multitude of platforms from a variety of communities on a near daily basis. None of the prior claims have anything to do with a difference of opinion or disagreements in political philosophy. Rather, they're all personal, baseless attacks that are either hateful in nature or rooted in some fact that does not exist. Please understand that there are thousands more comments that could be gathered out there, either in relation to me or other people being attacked in a similar manner, but I've only got so much time to gather and write. Also, these are only attacks that have come from communities that are supposed to be closely politically aligned with me. If I wanted to show even more hateful comments, I could easily visit Kiwi Farms, conservative subreddits, YouTube comment sections from conservatives I've debated, or 4chan threads made about me. There's an unbelievable amount of lies and hatred one in my position is expected to not only tolerate, but deal with in an even-handed manner, where I'm expected never to lose my temper and cross the line. My community got super ass mad when I made a joke implying that Demon Mama... This usually happens and it's very frustrating. If I ever fuck up, my community gets really mad about like, are you lying about Demon Mama? And it's like, yeah, I shouldn't do that. I know, but like, holy fuck. It's hard not to. Living your values. I don't care much for what people say about themselves, truly. I don't care if someone says they're tolerant or different people, are tolerant of different people, if they profess some political position, or if they're good towards their friends. Ultimately, I only care about people's actions and how well they understand the issues they claim to care about. I'm far from perfect, but I believe I'm a better person than the vast majority of those that inhabit online communities. I have and will continue to make many mistakes in my personal and public life, but I believe I aspire to some ideal and I don't like to come off as a braggart, but I do believe my track record is better than most in this arena. If there was ever a time to recount some achievements, this would be it. This is the cringiest part of anything I've ever written, but I'm gonna suck my own dick for just a second because Jesus fucking Christ, I'm like a demon to somebody. Professional causes. I have always believed in revenue sharing as a business model for people who work directly on creating or editing content for me whenever the model works. If I'm paying flat rates, my rates are generally better than industry rates. I paid my original editor at a loss of $1,000 a month until the channel was earning enough money to split the profit 50-50 with the editor earning more than $1,000 a month. I paid my current editor a 40% rev split on the channel, currently earning $500,000 a year. When I saw the positive reception of my D&D Patreon, I contacted Toy and offered to bump it up a discount. Hey yo, so I started my Patreon on funds related stuff related to this. Initially, the originally offered me a discounted rate from 400 to 700%. But since it seems like the response has been relatively positive from Patreon, I'd be perfectly fine with the 400 section if that's okay with you. I've tried to pay every person whose designs I've used for merchandise, stream events, YouTube/Twitter, banner/profile pics, or any other art I've used, including $5,000 for my D&D music and $1,000 for the original Lay Wu's picture. I pay people to maintain my website, including monthly fee to Kate, extra compensation for work by Gator, Renanda, tons of random site updates, and Linus Red, major work on bot and other integrations for my website. In 2012, when I first started my website, I made the choice to make it open source so that any work that went into creating a website for me could benefit the greater streaming community. I was unaware that my website source would be taken and used so prolifically by people who try to get me shut down, including Vosh, Shoe on Head, Heppels, The Surfs TV, Xander Hall, XELX, Bear Devil, Conyer CC, Shark 3300, Demon Mama, and CMS. I think every single one of those. Neither me nor my developers have ever received a single word of thanks from any of these content creators, and no one has contributed to the original repo from the forked project. Generally, it's considered good faith, or it's considered good practice that if somebody makes a project fork, meaning you take the code base and you copy and use it for your own thing, update or add something, ideally attribute the merge back somehow to the original repo, because that's like generally it's considered rude, colloquially, it's considered rude to just fork a project with a whole bunch of work. But, you know, I have never charged an appearance for any of the live shows I've gone to, unless a larger company sponsors my project. I have not requested payment for any of the university speeches or debates I've attended, even when the others there have. Elijah Schaefer got fully sniped. I have hosted and supported a massive number of smaller streamers, including those who either no longer support me or attack me constantly. I am one of the only large streamers that consistently gave voices to smaller streamers by way of conversation, hosting, or numerous appearances, sometimes on and off my stream, across panel shows. Personal projects. I've donated money anonymously to some projects in the past month, including personal places like doing surgery. She said she was doing thing. Hey, thanks for listening to everyone. Oh, I said congrats on your fundraiser.
Shockwave, watch your
Thank you. We didn't quite cover it. Maybe processing fees. No, I think I should do it. Christmas, blah, blah. What'd you end up getting out of it? You were trying to raise like $5,000. Yeah, we were trying to raise $4,000 on the stream. We raised $5,000. Something. When she was done streaming, I donated what I thought was to anonymous.
Watch your step.
I guess afterwards she noticed and she messaged me. She said, "Oh, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. This helps a lot. Thank you." Holy fucking yikes! I'm anonymous with fuck. Anyway, fuck. I hope it's for this transaction, please. Good luck to stuff on the surgeon. Good luck to the whole battle. Anyone to sell. 1 year later, she would be giggling along the mic about my departnership, which was claiming I do nothing for trans rights. Their pronouns are they.
Before we begin discussing optics, for a second, for just a couple minutes, we have a few different crab-related emotes. Why is Philly so dirty? There is trash everywhere. I don't know what neighborhood you're in, but street cleaning happens. It's weird. I'm planning on giving him the song next month, so hopefully we can get that space covered. That's a real shame. Bam! What was I gonna do? Oh, yikes, yeah. So, in case you don't know, I just want to touch on this topic for a little bit. In case you didn't know, we had a discussion last week where we went over the Lances and a certain other affiliate stream. Oh wait, that's a little early. You have to do path to affiliate before you get affiliate. It's not, you don't just sign up for Twitch and then get affiliate path. You have to go through the affiliate path. So I need to correct myself. I'm sorry.
Watch your step.
Given dog shit rhetoric, he was a massive force for progressive politics on a massive platform. Okay. All right. Just because someone says trans doesn't mean they're a force for progressive change. All right.
Watch your step.
Corporations have been saying that shit for the better part of 10 years now. It's not good enough for progressive change. All right. Voting for the Democrat is not enough for progressive change. All right, like that's not progressivism. Progressivism is about attacking these fundamental structures. There's a bunch of different groups that are under.
Watch your step.
1 year later, they begin giggling along with Mike on a partnership, which he's claiming we do nothing against rights. Another thing, I offered to fly out to stay with or remotely book rooms for the whole Bad Bunny / Kira chats after she had a traumatic sexual experience with one of her moderators. I think that I'm not going to read through all of this. So my mom that was visiting did bad shit. I think this is me asking, what happened? Are you okay? Are you hurt at all? I mean, like, you didn't break anything or anything like that. Blah, blah, blah. And then I think at some point, make sure you get to a safe place where you can get your breath, just chill for a bit. If you need help figuring out a place to stay or something, and if you're super worried about being alone or bored or something like that, I can swing by for a few days if you need a buddy or something. Good luck with everything stays safe. Bam! And then I offered to book her over in London so she wasn't planning on staying. And then here I'm thinking about trying to move my schedule so I'm not taking pretty hard. Yeah, it's fine. You need to book a room. Booked. Thanks so much. That's very thoughtful. It's no problem, buddy. Chatting with you. Always fun. This is a sexual assault experience that even my community shows support for. This way, like Bad Bunny. It's pretty cool. I legitimately enjoyed Destiny's IRL streams with her. His IRL streams in Seattle were super stuff for shoot cameras and clients. Less than a year later, she would be trashing me on her stream, and I never cared about her, called me a bad friend, and I valued viewership over friends, and that I cultivated toxic behavior. She's gone on multiple tirades since then, despite me defending her at multiple times against me. BAM! I'm not gonna watch all of this, but I can see the section. Destiny can't remain ethical because she's scared of losing viewers. Destiny's scared of being called a white knight, cultivates a toxic community, implicitly approves of harassment, values viewership over friends, calls me sexist, says she feels like she's lost a friend, calls me a bad friend, says I have no principles, she regrets sticking around ever. Really hurt by me not caring. I guess we're just not friends like I thought. It's going on multiple Bad Bunny goes into deranged rant on Destiny. And then these were defenses that I made of her. Mike, she somehow forgot about. We're not gonna watch.
Shockwave.
Oh my god, it was so awkward. I noticed it happen like 3 times in a row, and I was gonna say something. You can actually see me. I knew exactly what I mean, but I started dying in the background. Oh my god.
Watch your step.
Funny is generally, whenever Paul's message has, he's generally pretty precise with this. People literally go to monologues during the live podcast. I mean, maybe, but I mean, like, she doesn't usually. It's still like that, but it just started. You guys give anybody? Let's see. This had to do with, I think, sexist or homophobic things she was saying. Installed, I've spoken with her pretty extensively about it. I'm aware that it's not that way, but give me a check on it. Honestly, dug into the subject of extinction. It's complicated. This person holds...
Watch your step.
Oh, I think it's about her...
Watch your step.
Or something. I mean, 4 to 5 years ago, I wouldn't have used the word, the N-word.
Watch your feet.
This tirade that she ended up going on more friends towards her, I like never found her. It was just really irritating to me, but I was one of the first big streamers to openly and aggressively support OBS back in 2015.
XSplit is the leading streaming service. Eventually, Jim helped fundraising for his platform and other large streamers. Jim was amazing for a long time, providing me with personal support, pushing the limits to what I could do. In the early days of streaming, I would bother. I don't know, a lot of people don't remember this. XSplit was like main back
Watch your step.
up to like 2015 or 16 maybe. Everybody used XSplit.
Watch your feet.
But I really liked OBS.
Watch your
Jim was
feet.
super cool. We talked about it on Discord. Crazy streaming shit. That was back when I was always the one pushing the edge of like what was quality. I think it was one of the first people to try streaming at 60 frames per second, like et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, he was a cool dude. I think. I don't know if I can say this. He can correct me if I'm wrong. Who is Jim? Jim is the founder of OBS. I think that I'll say one of the reasons why Jim was able to go independent and do it full time was because of all the pushing I did for fundraising. I don't want to solo take credit for that, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I went back to StarCraft 9 years ago to do a big fundraiser for the Overlight, eventually landing a full-time job at Blizzard after the success of the integration of his Overlight, despite having been out of the community.
AOE incoming.
This was a guy that I'd known for a bit, tangentially, just because the game and Overlay stuff, and I found out later when I met him at BlizzCon or something that because of that fundraiser push and the development after the full-time job.
Shockwave.
Also, I didn't think this was
Target you. Target you.
also got a full-time job.
AOE incoming.
I've intervened in issues where I perceived the wrong being done, even if it was potentially an unpopular stance opposed to much more popular figures that I have closer relationships with. One such time was during the Prime Kai's drama where I helped clear Prime's name with bogus improper conduct
AOE incoming.
in Amsterdam off my screen. An intervention he later publicly thanked me.
Target
Also
you.
taking the side of less popular streamers against more popular ones, such as siding with Moby during the DM League drama, and even read high schoolers against them. You could argue the last one maybe. The first one was siding against popular streamers. This is
AOE incoming.
or maybe I've gone out of my way to get even streamers I'm not on relations with unbanned for what I perceive
Target you.
clauses, such
Target
as
you.
TV. I think this was me DMing my partner manager. The two streamers who got banned were Irish Lighting and Washington are relevant to Source TV.
AOE incoming.
So this was me trying to get both of them unbanned when I saw that they got banned just because they watched Washington or something. I also tried to submit an idea so Vosh could appear on Twitch streams again back when he was banned, though I was willing to mute my Twitch stream and send viewers his way when he wanted to have a discussion, such as for the Rittenhouse conversation. So I tried to push for this idea of like, there are certain political commentators like Vosh or Nick Fuentes that were banned on Twitch. Maybe we should be at least allowed to talk to them or watch their thing. I wrote up like a proposal, shipped this to my partner manager to see if they'd approve it. I don't even know if he sent that anywhere, but when I talked to Vosh, I would still, even though he was banned from Twitch, I was generally willing to mute my stream, and then I would link to his stream to send viewers his way so they could follow the conversation.
Responsible for you getting banned.
I'm not banned. I'm muted. We didn't talk policy a single.
There were multiple times where I did this so that we'd be able to have a conversation. It would benefit his stream because all of my viewers would have to watch the US when he was perma-banned.
AOE incoming.
Such as for the Rittenhouse conversation. I am the only large streamer I am aware of that will judiciously pursue cross-platform bans if my viewers harass someone.
AOE incoming.
I think RTBA reached out to her because she was complaining about transphobic people. I probably could have had clips in here saying I will ban people for doing it, but whatever. I've stated multiple times that I would ban someone from my subreddit, DGG chat room, Twitch and YouTube chats, as well as block them on social media if I see them attempting to harass someone from any of these platforms. Despite having this offer open, it was often not taken seriously by the very same people who complain about harassment. So like MX Vivian was one of those people that was commenting on Alice and tons of people would say like, oh, there's all of these harassing people in your community, and anytime we reach out, it's like, who is it? Tell us who will ban them. Very rarely do we ever get a response back. RTBA has been pretty aggressive in pursuing those types of interactions. I made it a point to cover sexual assault allegations on stream to provide some more insight into how events like these happen and how they can be avoided. We had like a spreadsheet where we were going over like, was it really fucked? Was it kind of fucked? Or was it not fucked at all? These were met with overwhelmingly positive responses from the fans.
Bam!
Shockwave.
As nice as people are, understanding, I guess, of the situation. So I'm not crazy.
And when he was reading Falcone's account of abuse, I had never heard.
I think these were logs from my chat afterwards. I just went to the dentist, I was listening the whole time and asked them to keep my hair again for the podcast. Lady tried to explain what it's like to experience harassment as a woman and why it's hard to say no, all of that. I haven't cried since all this went down. I'm in hardcore survival mode and running on exactly free. Hearing that and knowing what's being said from an audience of people that wouldn't otherwise even think to try to understand how I feel and say well, it's holding back tears with dragging. We're getting shit like, why did you just say no? Every single one of us wants to get it, you get it, and this community gets it. I've never been something.
Watch your step. Shockwave.
Political causes. I offered up my platform to any progressive candidate who wanted to have a conversation advertised. Despite these views that I very well on my YouTube or my Twitch streams. I've got 5 examples. All of these are generally pretty long. One of these interviews was Josie, pre-transition, and it would be her first major appearance on any internet platform.
Watch your step.
She was initially a fan of a lot of my stuff, and thought my audience was valuable back then, though she would later go on to accuse me of being transphobic and dumb people calling me a rapist.
33.
Target you.
Oh, well, you know, anything like political that can go against the constitution, I find obviously what you have to say.
Watch your step.
Video on 30,000
because I can't do my job without the support from people like your audience, right? Because this is our base. This is our base. This is who Republicans are taking time to speak with these meetings. It's like something that a progressive would do, right? Like this isn't something you're not going to get there. You're not going to get Georgia to.
I spent over $100,000, which about $5,000 was fundraised for my community for canvassing.
Watch your step.
I salaried both of my full-time organizers. Paid $5,000 a month, $4,000 a month. I was paying $2,500 a month for 2 different Airbnbs, so about $5,000 a month for both. I was covering food, a discretionary budget for extra expenses. These are the hotel rooms that
Watch your step.
I get in $1,000 to stay with now. This is food event. This was I paid my 2 league organizers $5,000 and $4,000 a month to have a full-time residence in 2 months to manage volunteers, accommodations, and food. I was also paying for it. We also coordinated travel and covered hotel expenses for the final weekend in Georgia and every weekend in Omaha. In Georgia, we knocked on over 20,000 doors and had the single largest canvassing mobilization in the state for the final weekend of campaigning for Warnock and Roscoe. I helped to support some local political causes in Georgia. One of the interviews I gave to 2 of the people working on causes in Georgia wound up being Maddie Cakes' first major appearance on any political platform. A woman who later went on to falsely accuse him of rape. This was Maddie Cakes' introduction to Twitch and internet.
set out to like justify this worldview that I cultivated for myself, and over time, when you actually look at
I could put more than that. I feel like I do. My personal political. Lies. Besides, the vilest writer has his weaknesses, so the greatest liar has his weaknesses. It often happens that the lie be believed only for an hour has done its work. There is no farther occasion for it. Falsehood flies, the truth comes in after it, so that when men come to be undeceived, it's too late, justice is too late, the tale has had its effect. It was written in an article on Jonathan Swift. Evidence is inconvenience. In this chapter, I'm going to explain different types of harassment that exist online, the relevant accusations levied at either me or my community. Some of these sections are going to feel a bit empty, and that's because other members of online communities have found it sufficient to simply accuse me or my community of committing any of these acts, oftentimes without understanding the facts at all, without providing a shred of evidence for any of these accusations. This is not only unfortunate, but a reflection of substandard character propagating all sorts of lies from other online communities.
Shockwave.
Hate raids and hate raid involves some organized and coordinated attempt by one community or group of people to show up, brigade, and spam either hateful or derogatory messages at another individual. Hate raids are not when a handful of people decide to respond to a bleak. Hate raids are also not when individuals decide independently to send negative DMs to someone via social media. Hate raids are also not when multiple members of an instigated community show up in the instigator's community comments. It could be said that some amount of organic behavior happens.
Watch your
content
step.
creator use the word hate, but it wouldn't be considered a hate rate unless explicit or at least implicit wasn't made. Let's look at it.
Help so.
John attacks a much larger content creator, Nicole, the YouTube channel. Nicole abused the YouTube channel, giving the scouring reviews. Many of her fans, in turn, put at John's channel and leave negative comments or reviews across many of his videos. One could argue that this is brigading behavior, as Nicole reviewed John's video on stream. Will inevitably lead to some members of her community visiting John's channel. But a hate raid does not, unless there are community posts or directions for someone within the community to leave some specific types of hateful comments. Laura and Jess get into a big fight with one another online, culminating in both exchanging angry words. Once their exchanges are done, Laura retreats back into her server and begins to link social media posts and videos by Jess, telling her community that Jess has an ugly goblin nose and that people should say as much. Even though some comments may be exchanged,
Watch your step.
they're not really brigade behavior. The explicit call of in by Laura to go through Jess's videos and leave comments would definitely rise to the level of
Help so.
Another example, despite being blocked, Keffels will continue to tag people and direct their communities to harass them on Twitter in an attempt to speak to them. Keffels has engaged in this multiple times. So this is Blair White is blocked something. It's literally less than 2 minutes after the reply to her, but she still tags him. Miss Blair White, you want to prove to me you aren't a coward and a snake? Come on my stream and talk. By blocking me, you're just trying to hide in your right-wing echo chamber and doing everything you can to advance. Here's Keffels talking about her harassment of Stone Toss. He blocked 3 of my accounts, so I unprivate my personal account that I've not used it over 2 years to ratio. Always wanted to ratio. If someone has blocked you on a social media platform and you continue to direct your community to them, or create new accounts or use old accounts to circumvent the block, you are almost certainly engaging in some form of brigading and harassment. With a slightly more sophisticated understanding of what a hate raid is, let's review the allegations against me and my community. Keffels claims during the time of my ban she was hate raided by my community. We just ended the hate raid by modifying the bot in chat to ban anyone who follows Destiny on Twitch. It's over a 13,000 like tweet. Salzo reviewed the hate raid and showed that Keffels was brigaded by another community before I even knew who she was. Posted on my subreddit, John Locks later summarized this in a post.
It's these two. Cool. So this is Keffels' stream, okay? We can look at over the course of her stream, and we can look at all the clips. I'm just going to summarize it, send you a link. Okay, cool. I mean, I'll put it in chat for you. You can
So the bars here are bans that she's done in her stream.
compare and contrast. All right, you can review the first part of my stream where I go over all of this. Here's Destiny's from that same night. So those are both of theirs from the same night. Okay, it's in UTC, so you just have to like kind of like compare and contrast the numbers. I can't motion if I point at the screen. You're not gonna see.
Oh my god, he takes long sense. But essentially, he goes through and points out that like
that's what her chat says in the clip. And
by the time she'd called me out, she was already hours past whatever this hate raid was. She accused my community of being the one that did this hate raid, but the timelines don't line up for it at all.
Until 11:50. This is at 8:40. She didn't interact with Destiny until 11:50.
So she interacted with me down here. She'd already banned this many people from a hate raid earlier, but then she accused my community of doing this hate raid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misworded that. She had interacted with Destiny earlier. They put the bot for the to catch all the DGGers at 11:50. All right. So 11:50. That's when the bot started. They didn't end the first hate raid with the bot. All right, because that happened at 8. This is where they put the bot because you can go and
then this is where they did the bot to start banning all of my community members. I think I was talking to that NATO guy. Someone in chat said. This guy summarizes it here. Also, people always bring up these points too, which is always true. If Destiny actually organized a hate raid, there wouldn't be just 7 people. There would have been thousands, or at least hundreds. This alone should make the hate raid accusations dubious. Even if we grant that among the people who got banned, 7 followed Destiny, that does not mean that Destiny organized a hate raid. It just means there were some people among them who followed Destiny. We don't even know if the 7 who got banned are Destiny fans or simply users who follow Destiny on Twitch. What many people do, even his haters or neutral bystanders, simply because he's the second largest politics streamer. Keffels never seems to bring up the fact that she was not only fighting with large content creators early on Twitter, she was even harassing them from behind a block. It's more likely any hate raiders came from this than my community. So earlier that night, even though Ian had blocked her, she was still tagging him and directing her community to attack him. Still Gray, if you'd like to come on my stream and talk to me about trans issues, you're more than welcome, because I gotta admit, you made yourself look like a bitch to someone who you think is subhuman. And then you can see the engagement she's getting on this. This is probably where the earlier hate raid came from. But Casey Tron bolstered this claim, saying I've targeted trans people to hate raid, again with no evidence. Honestly, you need to make this public, would probably help with many hate raids. I know he's been targeting trans people on Twitch whenever his audience is bored for some drama. Demon Mama claimed I sent a hate raid to Keffels. Demon Mama later said she didn't even care to review proof or evidence of any hate raid, which is common for her.
And this time, Destiny bit off more than he could chew, because he sent a hate raid over to a streamer who has their own independent large following, and all that Keffels had to do was block all people who follow Destiny using a chatbot, and all of a sudden the raid disappeared. Now, there's 2 things with this. First of all,
so you can see the hate raid in the chat of the video. Okay, let's see what's this about.
Did Keffels ever post proof of the hate raid? I think Keffels' chat logs contain that. I don't really care. I know that Keffels isn't lying, and if Keffels is lying, then I'll obviously recount that, but I highly doubt that Keffels is lying. Just
never recounted, by the way.
Because you want to play defensive, yes, he definitely do that. He does it all the time. Everybody knows he does it all the time.
I've never organized a hate raid before.
Sorry. Keffels can post proof, but we saw it. We saw the Twitter beef happening, man. Yeah, you can just watch the VOD.
Also, he's not.
She didn't even care to review proof or evidence of any hate raid, which is common for Demon Mama. Josie also claims she would be hate raided while streaming on Dylan's panel. She later claims that she banned 24 chatters who were hate raiding her, disregarding the fact that any hate raid from me would involve hundreds of chatters, or hundreds or thousands of chatters. Logs from her chat would later show that she only had 10 chatters banned, with only 1 of them actually being transphobic.
Is a person that is supporting Destiny in this, but I know that I'm taking an unpopular opinion. I know that just being on this panel against everybody here is going to verify the shit I was talking about. Like, I'm going to get people that are going to hate raid me probably during this stream. I'm probably going to get messages that are going to be very transphobic and awful. This is going to happen. And it is something that I'm going to have to deal with, because every time, even when I spoke up for a friend that he brigaded and admitted to brigading.
A friend. She's talking about Maddie Cakes, the one that accused me falsely of sexual harassment and then fabricated DMs against my community.
I was the one that was also dragged for speaking up. This particular topic is exactly why it is hard to speak up. Because
these are logs from her chat of people who were getting permanently banned. These are the types of things that were being said. Josie, you defended Maddie Cakes when she called Destiny rapist. That's literal Destiny derangement syndrome. Don't think that's transphobic. Hi, Josie, you're unhinged. Have a good day. I don't think that's transphobic. Didn't you also lose? Didn't you also lose your running for office? Why does that matter? Not transphobic. Oh wait, I don't know where this guy's message was. Can't close Vim. What are you doing here? Mr. Anonymous, as a hate raider, I belong to a marginalized community in this chat space. Banning me is a fascist act of bigotry, discrimination, and oppression. That's not transphobic. Welcome to the internet where you're forced to hear other people's opinions, even if you don't like them. That's not transphobic. 41% troll face. This is a transphobic comment. Die Hard, make sure you bring up that the person that killed themselves to get more victim points. They got banned. How did Destiny win and isn't even on the platform? He got banned. Real W there, buddy. Going back to that 25 average next stream. Once people forget about you again, Nathan W. Oh, close. Vim got banned. So one of these was transphobic. That's... I don't think I included this in my doc, but oh, I should have. Later on in that same video, Josie claimed that one of her mods killed themselves because of my community hate rating. I don't know why I didn't include that clip in, but she unironically made that claim. They committed suicide because of the Destiny hate raids. And it was one of her members of her community that committed suicide. It wasn't because of my hate raids. Vosh has, without evidence, also made multiple claims about hate raids, despite his own community getting clocked by the Reddit admins for excessive brigading.
Criticism or whatever. I mean, they're like the most brigady community in the universe. They kind of earned that for themselves, you know. Getting a lot of bans, so you guys need to fill in to replace the DGGers who brigaded and got banned. Okay, you have to...
Even though his own community got dinged by the Reddit admins for brigading mine. We were...
I'll be right back. Actually, I'm just gonna... I'll probably... end stream, because I'm gonna go get some food.